What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are brand new here, welcome to the channel. Today's video, if you couldn't tell by the title or the thumbnail, is about the Laugo Arms Alien Remus. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about this gun. First off, I did not buy this gun. I actually won this gun when I went to go shoot the PCSL Belt Defensive Championship. Put raffle ticket in for this gun. I think I put one in for this gun and then a couple in for a different gun. I actually won this gun. Pretty damn cool. So I have zero skin in the game on this, so it's going to be probably a pretty honest review on this gun instead of like Laugo sending me this gun for a review or me buying it and having that bias. So let's get into it. We'll shoot a little bit and we'll show a little bit. Shoot and show. So first of all, anyone that is not familiar with these Laugo Arm Alien, this is a Czechoslovakian company and they're imported into North Carolina, if anyone cares about that. This gun is a completely different design than your normal gun. If we look here, I'm unloading the gun. If we look here, the barrel is way the hell down here, which pretty much ends up like kind of in the webbing of your hand, which makes for a pretty low bore axis, which is kind of cool. Then another thing about this setup, obviously the barrel makes it cool. The other thing about this is the slide is not this whole piece. The slide is just this piece on the sides here. So you have like this, I guess, U-shaped piece that is your slide, and this top piece kind of stays put there the whole time. Your optic kind of stays in place, so it's almost like a frame mounted optic because this isn't moving with the slide. But you do have this cool little button here, so if you need to charge the gun, you load a magazine in and you could kind of like karate chop it and pull the optic back. So the optic doesn't move unless this little guy gets pressed there, and then if you see, the whole thing moves as one. For me specifically, when I go to rack the slide on a gun after I throw a mag in, I always come over the top with my hand like this. So it's a little bit of an issue for me. It's a little bit of a learning curve, just getting used to it. So kind of doing it like this with the optic staying in the same place. My hand actually hits the optic and I kind of short stroke it and a round would not go in. So that's something I would have to train, of throwing a mag in and racking it like this and shooting. So something to note on that. Other thing on this that is pretty, I guess it's not weird, it's just something I would have to get used to. So I'm an M&P shooter. I am an M&P enjoyer. This gun, I would say this is a lot closer to like a Glock grip angle. First time I picked up the gun, thought the dot was off. Turns out I was aiming like way up and I had to like really like crank my wrist down. It's just something I have to remember with this gun, is on the draw, remember to like kind of aim down more than I'm used to. Now, that one thing with this gun that is a big negative in my opinion is, if we see in here, I don't know if we can see in, I think you can see in that light right there, that little like brass looking thing, that is a gas tube. So if you're familiar with an AR-15, that's gas operated. This is gas operated. So the other day, put about 4 magazines through it in pretty like rapid succession, and this gun was extremely hot. After you would shoot, and always finger off the trigger when you're not shooting, I rest my finger on the frame. I could barely rest my finger on the frame anymore. It was that hot. Then, since this whole thing is metal, it starts to radiate, so kind of left the gun alone for a little bit on the side to cool down. And it actually started, the heat started working its way down the grip a little bit, and that was getting hot. So probably not a gun you want to train with a lot. So one other thing to note about this is the optic that's on it. So there's a no sight on it. I did not put this optic on it. It came with the optic, and it also came with whoever does that competition gamer AIWB belt for USPSA, which kind of defeats the purpose of AIWB, but still, I think it's carry concealment. Came with one of those also. This gun came with 6 magazines, which is pretty damn ridiculous. So I only brought 2 with me, but they came with 6 magazines in different varying degrees of round counts. So there's some with like flush fit. I believe this was the biggest one, which holds 22 rounds. So pretty cool that it comes with that many damn magazines. So let's shoot a little bit. All right, so we're back at about 7 yards from this target over here. We're just gonna do some, I guess, some draws and shots on the head box. From concealment, like I said, gotta remember to kind of aim down because the grip angle is different. So magazine's in, like I was showing you earlier, magazine is in the gun. You could rack it by pulling the slide, or you could karate chop it. Now we have a round in the chamber. So since this is a new gun for me, just gonna take it slow, just some draws on the head box. We'll talk about the recoil impulse and just shooting overall, how it feels kind of like whipping the gun around and whatnot. So we got 2 targets set up. We're just gonna shoot 1 target for now. Stand by. Like I said, taking it slow. Yeah, gotta remember to aim the gun down. So that was a 211. Let's do another one here, and we'll talk about recoil impulse and kind of gripping the gun in a second, because just remembered something with that. Stand by. To 183. All right, 163. Let's try to get one under. Let's try to get one under 1.5. All right, that was a 139. All right, let's talk. Initial things with this gun that I just remembered as I was shooting. So I grip the gun super high like this. I'm pretty much, as you can see, my thumb is almost touching slide. As I'm shooting, I gotta remember to kind of not do that. It doesn't bother me, but I feel it. I feel the slide rubbing against my hand, kind of like Glock slide bite. It's not breaking skin or anything, but I feel it. Then other thing, the recoil impulse, because the barrel is so low in the gun, recoil impulse is almost more like straight back, almost like you're getting punched in the hand, as opposed to it being over the top of the gun and kind of like pulling back like that. A little bit of weird recoil impulse, but not bad. I don't mind it. It's kind of cool. All right, so now we're just gonna move to a spot where I could see the further target. There's a further target back there, and then this close one. So we're probably 10 yards from this first one. The other one's probably 15-ish, maybe 20. No, I would say more than 15, maybe like 17 to 20. So we're gonna kind of do 2 and 2, almost like an accelerator drill, just to feel how the gun is moving around, and I guess some follow-up shots. So let's do that for a little bit, and we'll do a build drill and stuff like that. Let's shoot. Okay, that was a 3 out of 5. Very weird. Did I throw a mic on this? Oh no, it's very, the shadow is making it hard to see. So that's a Charlie, Alpha Charlie over here, and .295, 2 Alpha here, and back there definitely 1 Alpha at least. I could see that. Let's do it again. .293. Pretty good. 2 Alpha up front for sure. Let's just look at that quick. So that was a close one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Alpha, 1 Charlie. Then the far one back here. Actually, pretty decent group. We have 5 Alpha, 1 Charlie back here too. I was not expecting that. Couldn't see any of the hits other than that one up there because of the lighting right now. So this gun shoots really good. I actually really like the way it shoots, other than just having to like really aim down. Let's go. Let's just go on a fast one. This is, where's my 7-yard mark? 7 yards right here. Just gonna draw and shoot. We got 1 round left anyway, so actually we're gonna reload. Let's do that. Let's reload into it. So 1 round, 1 R1. Let's do that. Okay, so coming back up on it, gun was way up in the air because not used to it, and I don't know. We're actually gonna have to check this for a second. I believe, maybe it does it every time, slide dropped for me on the reload. So let's check that out. Let's demonstrate that again. Let's see if it'll do it again. So we got empty gun. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So slamming the mag in drops the slide. Pretty cool. And didn't rip it, but felt that on my thumb. All right, let's do everyone's favorite drill, the build drill. Then we will talk about like who this gun is for and should you get one. Let's do it. One thing getting used to is when you go to chamber check, got to remember that the chamber is all at the bottom of the gun. So I'm used to like looking right at the top to see if I have a round loaded, and just something to get used to. Since we're doing this from concealment, probably not gonna be under 2. I don't think I've ever shot a bill drill from concealment under 2, but if we could do like under 2.5, we'll be happy. But main thing is the index of the gun when we're going to draw. Do some from below belt, then we'll do some like surrender or whatever. .243 on the draw, we're a little high up. Dropped 1 Charlie right up there. .237, 1 Charlie right up here. One thing I forgot to mention with this gun, the trigger is really damn nice on it. But in the instruction manual, because I actually looked through it because I was wondering how the hell to take this thing apart to clean it, but the instruction manual says not to really dry fire because you can damage it, but we don't got time for that. So trigger, as you see this, you got the little safety blade on it. Got that little bit of take up right there, and then very crisp wall. It's a really damn nice trigger. All right, let's do some bill drills from surrender. Then we're gonna do a 20-yard bill drill just to close it out, because grip, sights, and trigger press, fundamentals, we need to work on that at all times. So that's why we're gonna be doing some 20-yarders. Karate chop, press check. My draw is slow. Last one was a 150 first shot, so stand by. So 232 first shot was a delta. There was no dot on it. I just kind of sent it just for speed's sake. So 1, 2, 3 alpha, 2 Charlie, and a delta. Let's try to actually get the dot on target before we pull the trigger this time. That one felt better. 245 and all alpha. Let's do a 20-yarder and then let's close this out. All right, 20-yarder. Gonna stand basically right in front of the camera. This target is right like there, so it's taped up right now. We'll go look at it after this. We're going to got about 8 rounds left, so we will do one, I guess, from, let's do from surrender, because this is concealed carry and we'd be like, hey, please don't shoot me. And then so 2.5 magazines so far. Frame is getting hot. It's not unbearably hot yet, but like I said, the other day we shot 4 mags like back to back to back and it couldn't even touch the gun, so it is what it is. Plus this kind of like talking a little bit in between, so it's got like a minute or so to cool down. All right, that was a 375, which is a lot slower than I normally like, using the excuse of the new gun. Not used to it, draws a little different, and just the index on the gun is a little different. So it looks like we had a nice run there though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Not too bad. Splits could have been a little faster. We had a 184 first shot, 40 split, 44 split, 37 split, 35 split, 37 split, 38 split. So could get those splits a little faster, but we're all on the A zone. Cleaned it. That's kind of the video, me shooting the gun. I gotta say, I really like this gun. It's different. It's expensive. If I had the money, I would probably never buy this myself. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, because it shoots really nice. So who's this gun for? I don't know. Let's think about it for a second. So it is expensive. I believe it's 4 digits and starts with a 5. So as you can imagine, it's a pretty damn expensive gun. Everyone's got money like that. And I feel like once you start getting into the realm of spending that much money, most people are probably gonna go 2011. More customization, different triggers, different grips, different colors. I mean, you could change the color on this, but you could mess with the trigger pull, different mag wells, stuff like that. This gun is probably for the, maybe like a hipster type dude that doesn't want the same gun that everyone else wants. Maybe that's why I kind of like it, I don't know. Now, would you use this for competition? So this one specifically, no. This is the carry version. I believe it's, I believe this gun in its exact configuration would put you in the open division, because the optic is not like a slide ride optic. It doesn't reciprocate with the slide. It's a frame mounted optic basically. So that would put you in the open division. So this specific gun, no, this isn't what you would compete with. They do make a larger version, which obviously would have a 4+ inch barrel. That would be a little bit more accurate. Not that this gun isn't accurate. It was pretty damn accurate actually. But accuracy, get a little more muzzle velocity out of the end. And it's just a bigger gun for USPSA. That the bigger version, I don't remember the name of it because like I said, I got this, I wasn't researching these. I believe it has an iron sight top end, and you can remove that for an optic top end. You'll have to fact check me on that one. When they first brought it out, it was basically the same setup with the optic not moving. Then they realized this is our competition gun to put you in open. They changed some design where the optic would reciprocate with the slide, so you could go in limited optics and shoot it. So would I use this gun or its variant for limited optics? If I was sponsored, for sure, because like I said, it's a pretty cool gun. But if I had to do it myself, I would have to be really rich because I would need 2 of these guns to do it. Because you come out training, like I was talking about earlier or complaining about earlier, this gun gets extremely hot. So if you're out on the range training and this gun gets too hot to even handle, you just gotta put it off to the side and just sit a while for it to cool down or something. That's not gonna work. So if you had a second gun, it would be perfect to just swap between while they cool down. A little too much to ask, especially when I shoot something like an M&P. So my steel frame M&P was 1/5 of the price of this, and my backup is a polymer, which is half the price of that one. So it's a little more affordable. Like I said, if you were the rich guy that had a ton of money that wanted something different, I'd really consider this because it shoots really nice. I really like this gun. Now, one other complaint that I just remembered as I was talking is this magwell area and your magazine. So getting used to the grip angle is one thing to slam those reloads, but what I've noticed is if you're not like perfectly in there, you could kind of just like jams up. I was able to jam this magazine in the other day where it wouldn't even drop out. So that's not good. I would assume maybe like polishing up the inside maybe a little bit would help with that. Maybe the big brother version of this is a little bit better with the reloads, but for this specific one, reloads kind of suck. I think that's all I got to say about this gun. If you couldn't tell, I like the gun, but I kind of don't like it. If it was about half the price that it is, I understand there's probably a bunch of engineering and stuff that went into it, so that's probably why the price is pretty extreme, and kind of like that exclusivity thing by having the higher price. If it was about half the price of this, I would really consider keeping a gun like this. I don't know. If you want to support the channel in any way, you could use the links down below. We got some links for some merch, got some Amazon affiliate links for some stuff. If you'd like to support the channel, but not spending any of your money, just hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment on the video and all that stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. Let's get out there, go shoot your carry gun and get proficient with that. You should probably be a little bit more proficient with your carry gun than your competition gun, to be honest with you. So do that, and let's make GM at some point. See you later. Peace out. That one felt better.